This is like the 12th take, so I decided to just stream it instead, because I have a much easier time talking, on stream rather than just in my room. This is not going to be like the relics themselves, I'm not going to be talking about just the effects. I did use like these things, different relics they show up on. I had to get a bit creative though, because some of them don't actually have it. And also for simplicity's sake, I'm going to be doing these in the order that they show up on the Fextra Life Wiki in particular. So yeah. Alright, without further ado, let's just actually start it. So, let's start with Wylder. Right. Follow-up attacks possible when using character skill. Greatsword Only. I'm not gonna lie. This might be a hot take, but I really don't like this one. It limits you too much. Wylder's biggest strength is the fact that he has dex and strength scaling. He's a quality build. He can use basically any melee weapon in the game. Limiting yourself to just greatswords kinda sucks. And also there's the fact that the buff is just not very good. It completely clashes with things like Holster's Relic. It clashes out with if you find like a catalyst that has like Scholar's Armament on it. Like Scholar's Armament lasts so long. And it costs nothing to cast it. I'm pretty sure like the buff spells, they last like twice as long as they do in base Elden. I'm thinking B tier for this. Like, it's okay, I guess. I said I wasn't going to be talking about the relics themselves, but the Slate Whetstone that you get, it's like one of the first guarantees you're going to get, and it's a decent power increase when you're still getting used to the game. It's just that once you get like better stuff, and you get more familiar with the game, and you get a better understanding of stuff, it just starts to limit you too much. It's like, again, you can use any melee weapon in the game. Why should this thing limit you to greatswords only? If it wasn't limited to greatswords only, I'd put it in A tier. But since it does, it's just not that. Next one. Art gauge greatly filled when ability is activated. This is the one, silver. So, basically what this does is, whenever you do the, like, Sixth Sense thing, when you almost die, but not really, pulls out the no you get like 18% of your ult charge. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, 18%, that's almost a fifth of your charge. But I don't know. It's like, you can only get this once. I'm sure there's some wild tech you can do where you just bait some enemy into killing you and then just running back into get like a side of base, just get an instant ult charge, but it's like, is that really worth it? I don't know. I'm thinking B tier. It's kind of middle of the road. The fact is, like, the thing that really like ruins this for me is that if you get revived, if you die and get revived, you do not get your passive back. So this is only a one-time thing. If you die with like 99% of your... Well, not die, but if you use like Sixth Sense when you're like 5 seconds away from charging your ult, this is completely useless. Not the biggest fan. But I am a big fan of the next one. One additional character skill use. Yeah. Straight up A tier. It's insanely good. I can't really say anything else about it, it's just... You already have like the best mobility in the game, and this just makes it even better. I guess you could also like pair this up with the other one, like the thing if you want the greatsword ability. I don't, however I still consider it an A. There is one that I consider even more manageable. This one's just for fun. This one, though, next one is coming up. I'm just gonna straight up put it in S. This is the one that art activation spreads fire. Essentially, it just doubles the damage, which is really fucking nuts. Like, not to mention, whenever you use your ult, it's going to stagger basically anything. Especially if you're solo, that's a stagger into crit too. Well, they posture break. Guaranteed. Now, granted, that's only while solo, but still. You're either going to, like, crit them while they're just sitting in the fire, or they're going to get stunned for a few seconds while they're sitting in. That's. Yeah. It's a no-brainer, really. Why not? It's just more damage. Alright, next up, Guardian. First ability we got is yeah, this is the one that makes your tornado last longer. Now, I have some mixed feelings about this one. I don't know if I should put it in B or A. Like, it does more damage, definitely. It's good for stun locking groups. Like, you can basically lock down the entire hill if you get something like Sleep Brigade or the three Banished Knights. At the same time, though, his ability is just not that good. Oh yeah, you can also, like, use this to deflect a bunch of projectiles, so it's got some limited utility there. It's just that for boss fights, you're never going to really be using this, so... Oh no, it's... I'd say okay, I guess. I put it higher than these two, though. Like, put this on your build if you can, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to do so. Next ability. Oh, this one's kind of bad. This is the one that makes like a whirlwind charge out. Okay. Unfortunately, this is trash. I'm sorry. It only works with like standing charged heavy attacks. If this worked on the charged guard counters, it would be S tier. But it's only on the standard like. You're basically never going to be using this. Guardian just doesn't do enough damage to warrant it, and also you can't even block on it. Next. Restoring HP while doing the ult. Yeah, this is fucking bad. Guardian has one of the best like team support ults in the game. This just basically makes it into a full heal for your entire team. On top of like reviving instantly. It's I've never seen a Guardian not run this. Like straight up. Next ability. Oh yeah, this is the one that like reflects a portion of damage received when I'm not gonna lie, it needs some buffs, okay? Like, it doesn't do much damage. It does barely any damage. And it does... Yeah, it does, like, very little. However, it's pretty much mandatory. It's S tier, but it could still be better. What I'm trying to say. Like, it combos well with the other perk that, like, gives you stamina on successful hits. And it also has, like... Okay, it's hard to explain because, like, I have to specify not posture. You know, I have to specify the difference between posture and poise. Yeah, it doesn't do much posture damage. I think it does about as much as, like, a one-handed R1, which isn't much. However, this thing does so much fucking damage, it's insane. And by poise, I mean, like, the micro stagger. You know, Banished Knights, when they're in their, like, Storm Stomp stance or whatever the hell it is, they basically have enough poise in that to tank, like, 3 punches from God himself. And this thing still instantly staggers them out. This completely shuts them down. It's, I think, the only thing in the game short of an ult Maybe like a charged version of... I don't know, maybe Raider's ability can do that. Yeah, this is definitely like the best way to counter. Okay, Ironeye. Extended duration of week. Wow, this is actually worse than I thought. Okay, so I thought that the base duration for like the mark was 17 seconds. It's actually a base duration of 17 and a half. And this increases that to 20. On an ability that has like a 10-second cooldown, so you can just always mark them again. Yeah, no, this is trash. I love that like the Fextra Life wiki just says does not stack as like another name into. Like, bro, how much else did you have to live with this thing? It's like, how much is like 2.5 out of like 2 point? What are we looking at here? Is that like 12.5% increase? That's not much. Next one. Boost thrusting counterattack after. So basically, after you use your ult, thrusting counterattacks, which includes basically every bow. If you do a counterattack with a bow, it does plus 20. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. I don't usually go out of my way for it, but it's pretty good. That's just really just because I always go for like Everjail. Yeah, I should probably like change up my fucking builds. Yeah, I should probably like figure out how to put that on my build. What I don't need to figure out how to put on my build though, because it's already there, is this one. If you wanted to further obsolete this thing, by the way, just pick this. You know, an extra use of marking ability. Yeah. Not to mention, like your mark ability is probably like the best one in the game. This thing stacks, by the way. Actually, get like this. Maybe I'll try that for the memes. But yeah, not only is this like the best damage ability, just because it like gets you the stagger, also it gets you like also it can be stacked. But on top of all of that, it's like the best dodge move in. What more do you want? Arc Charge adds poison. Really? Okay, I'm gonna put this one in trap. Like, let's be real here. It's not that difficult to get like a poison weapon. And if you do, that basically completely invalidates this whole thing. Not to mention, Ironeye already has like decent arcane. So if you get a poison weapon, like what? He hits to act something. I don't know. I tend to avoid perks that just get completely. It's kind of like the Wylder ability. This one with the Slaying Whetstone. You know, if you find like a good weapon that's not a greatsword, this whole thing is just completely useless. If you find any poison weapon, like a serpent bow or something, this whole thing is completely. I tend to avoid stuff like that. It's completely obsoleted. You know, you can't guarantee what you get, so might as well go for stuff that's like. We're moving on to Duchess now. Improved character skill attack power. Literally mandatory. Literally mandatory. Like, this is like the reason you get Duchess. And it just makes it even. To be like more precise, normally restage does 50% of the damage, this makes it do 60%. The final attack on daggers. I'm not gonna lie, this is another one that's like invalidated by if you find. No, it's not actively. If you find like anything that's not a dagger, and the thing is, like with Duchess, you can actually kind of do like crouch pokes with ultra greatswords by just using how fast or dodge because it's so fast. So you can't actually use like slower daggers. If you find something like High-hander or what's the one that has like black? That thing's really good on. Yeah, the Godslayer. Find that thing. That's like insanely. And that basically invalidates this. On top of that, I also just find that this thing kind of incentivizes you to monkey mash and just get hit. Oh no, not the. Hey monkey, what's up? Like tier listing of the beating enemies while. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so the next one's pretty funny. So while you're invisible with the ult, you gain plus 15 damage for 30 seconds when you or any team member kills an enemy. That sounds good on paper. That does sound good on paper. Not gonna lie. But oh man, that's like literally useless on the fights. Like I guess it could be useful on night bosses, but you'd probably be building for like the actual. That's like where 90% of the difficulty of the game is. And I guess it's okay. It gives you some damage utility on your ult, which is ult is kind of useless for reviving up. Honestly, if this thing actually worked on like revive, if it counted like reviving somebody as a kill, that would be really funny. It would actually be. But it doesn't. I guess it's okay. Oh yeah, this is the one where I had to get a bit creative because there are no relics for this. And also it doesn't actually have its own ability. So I went with like the spy from TF2. Okay, so this one, when you get a backstab, you get invisibility. I'm not gonna lie, this is going in C tier. Yeah, that's like the fact is, it doesn't work on posture break stabs. It's only backstabs, so it's only on humanoid end. So that basically removes it from all bosses. Next one. Okay, the next one is going to be a very hot take. The next one is going to be nuclear take. So this is the one that increases the duration of Totem Stela, the Raider ult. It makes it go from 20 seconds to 30 seconds. I'm unironically gonna put this thing in D. Like, this is actively detrimental. Now, Totem Stela actually, like, gives you, what does it do? Yeah, 15% physical attack boost. No, the problem is, like, every time somebody uses Totem Stela, the boss just gets stuck inside of it, and I can't see what they're doing, and my attacks bounce off the giant rock. So it's essentially like 50% increased time of griefing your team. Okay, maybe I'll put it in B tier instead. I'm gonna put this in B tier, okay? I don't really know if there's actually anything that's gonna go into D. Oh no, there is. No. I will put it in B tier with the condition that if your teammate sucks with it, it's going in D tier. Okay? Like, it's... You can grief your team with this. Like, at the very least, this thing needs to have, like, no collision with weapons. So I can at least hit through it. FromSoft, please. Okay, next one. Oh, wait a minute, this is the wrong one, actually. No. This is that one. Actually, I accidentally skipped one. This is the one to think is the torn braided cord. Torn braided cord. Yeah, this one. This one's going in S actually. So basically, what this does is, when you're using your ability, you take damage, gain plus 10% damage and 20% stamina for 20 seconds. Considering that the whole point of the Retaliate ability is that you use it to tank hits, to be quite frankly, this should be just baked into the game normally. This should just be part of his normal. I've literally never seen a raider not use it. Yeah, it is basically magic. So, we're moving on to Revenant. I think we're like halfway done now. Oh yeah, we went from one S tier to another. Or maybe, actually... Okay, so this is the one that powers you up while fighting alongside your summons. And okay, let me be more specific. When you have like the small one summoned, Helen, you get 1 HP per second. When you have Frederick, Pumpkinhead guy, you get plus 10% damage. And when you have Sebastian, you get 20% damage negation. To be quite frank, I think the only one that's worth using is Frederick. 1 HP per second is kinda useless, and 20% damage negation sounds good, but it's on Revenant, and not gonna lie, Revenant has a smaller health bar than my dick. Yeah. I'm gonna put this in A tier. Oh, and also, like, the summons just do not tank at all. They'll die in, like, at any boss. I'm gonna put this in A tier. Honestly, I wish Revenant summons would be buffed enough that I could put this in S. If they were, like, something you could consistently. Still something that you should have. Like, it is basically mandatory, it's just basically mandatory, but also not something you can consistently. I'm trying to find like the damage that this does. Like this is the one that does like the Ghostflame explosion when you do your ult. Now, from my experience, it does about as much damage as a Wylder ult, which basically means you have 2 ults. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in A tier. Like, it's mostly... It turns your ult from a support ult to really a damage ult. Yeah, I think A tier is good. Next one. Expend own HP to fully heal nearby allies when active. This one's a bit weird. Okay, so you lose half of your HP, okay? Now that doesn't really matter much, because like Revenant has a really... You're gonna get 1 or 2 anyway, doesn't matter. And it fully heals all your allies. However, it kinda has a negative synergy, because like, the point of Revenant's ult is that, you know, while for 15 seconds, everyone around you is just immune to dying. They can take as much damage as possible, they will never go below 1 HP. So you heal them for full health, and then you incentivize them to just monkey mash and take hits anyway, because they can't die. So at the end of the ult, they're probably at 1 HP, or at the very least at low. And also you're still losing health for this. Like, it's already like kind of weird functionality, and it also costs you health. I'm gonna put this in B. Like, it's okay. I That anti-synergy is what... Okay, this one's actually nuts. Holy shit, I need to put this on my build. Am I stupid? You learn something new every day. Okay, so this one is like strengthens family and allies when ultimate art is activated. Plus 25% damage for 30 seconds to all living allies and summons. When you use your ult. Bro, that's an S. That's like the support ult. Okay, we're moving on to Recluse. Just the last two characters. So... this is the one where if you use your ability, it does like a Terra magic. Yeah, I'm putting this in A too. This one's an A. Right up. It has limitations though. Like, it only works with magic damage. So if you're going for like, because Revenant doesn't just have Int, she also has Fate, so if you're going for like incantations, kind of gimping yourself with this. That said, pair this thing up with Shattering Crystal. The magic shotgun. You can do some hack. There's something that's a lot less situational. This is just more generally. Suffer blood loss and increase attack power upon activation. S. Easiest S tier probably in the whole game. So basically, you lose 20% of your HP through a blood loss proc, and you gain 16% damage for 30 seconds. Now that number doesn't sound like too much by itself, but Lord of Blood's Exaltation exists. And also there's a boon that's basically Lord of Blood. Just, if there's a blood loss proc, it gain more damage. You get those from bosses. Not to mention, since you're losing blood as well, you're getting the blood loss proc on yourself. If anyone else has those, they're also going to benefit from this. Plus 20% of your max HP. Yeah, activating this ability marks every enemy around you, so you heal them. So you heal if you hit them. No, not situational. Actually God tier. You can stack the fuck out of this damage bonus. Oh yeah, also, like, if you want to, like, counteract this, there's the other one. You can counteract the 20% HP loss. Next one. This is also on the bonus stone. S tier, so basically you gain plus 30% max HP. Actually, I'm gonna drop this to A tier. It's not quite as necessary, because Recluse is a caster. You're supposed to, like, stay away from enemies and... However, this is really good to, like, combo with this. Because it basically undoes the whole downside. Yeah, I think that's nice. Last three. These are going to be executors. So... yeah, the first one is kind of weird. So basically... okay, so the way Cursed Sword works is you parry 4 hits, and it glows. Then you can do, like, the special. When you do that, it essentially restores 100 HP. Now that sounds like a lot. That's like 25 health per effect. And yeah, you can stack that, but also not great. 100 HP per proc is not... like, it's okay. It's definitely okay. I'm not putting... nah. It's basically a better version of the guarding gives you health. I can't deny that. It's at least better than that thing. I got mixed feelings. It could use a numbers tweak. Alright, here's one that's actually... Roaring restores HP while hard is... Okay, I have another nuclear take here. So a lot of people think Furry Mode is a terrible ult because you can die during it, but I actually have the opinion that Furry Mode is actually one of the best ults in the game. It's like probably the most versatile one. This basically turns it into a full team. It has a full personal heal by default. You can literally just ult and then leave the ult. Then you have a full ult. Even if you do nothing else with it. You basically have a Wylder ult if you just pop the ult and then special attack. And it also has massive crowd control if you just spam the block move. This is going in A tier. Maybe even S. Because it basically adds an entire new dimension to your ult. Like, it could already do damage. It could already do self-support. It has a ton of mobility. This also adds, like, team support. Oh, and also it's, like, really good for, like, crowd control and also reviving. This adds, like, team heal to it. Yeah, at the very least A tier. The only reason I don't put it in S is because, well, everyone just runs like a set loadout with that guy who has like the poison plus the rust plus the bleed on his starting katana, and sometimes you might not be able to fit this in. And those like matter more. But yeah, A tier, here for sure. Alright, next one. The last one. Oh boy. Oh my god, dude. This one, I'm gonna crash out. Seriously. Holy shit. This is the worst one on the list. Not even close. Okay, so what this does is, the Cursed Sword, it gives you plus 8% damage, but every attack drains 10 HP from you. Okay, so first of all, Cursed Sword is straight up like the weakest weapon in the whole game. It is literally worse than the starting katana that you start every run with. The only thing it's good for, besides the blocking, is it consumes like no stamina, so you can actually like it's kind of good for reviving your teammates, since you can just wail on them and it costs nothing. However, your damage doesn't actually matter. Because it's like, yeah, it's like based on weapon type and all that. It kind of has its own like, for like doing that, it's kind of like poise. It has its own like values, are completely different to damage. Add on to this. Okay, the Cursed Sword. I'm gonna be real with you. Executor feels like they added his arcane stat as a last-minute buff because he was underpowered. Because his main ability just makes no use of it. Arcane is entirely about proccing status effects, and the Cursed Sword has none. Like, this is the main problem. Like, everyone who plays Executor, they use the sheath and unsheath animation on the Cursed Sword as the parry, because it has like better frame data than the actual stuff. So they can just use their normal weapons, which are better and have status procs. Like, the meta for this guy is to have like poison plus bleed plus chilling mist on it, so you can have 3 different procs on one character. Instant. Right off the gate, or when you start. And this makes use of none of this. On top of that, 8% is a pretty low number for the damage boost. And we're talking about a weapon that's about as good as like a... Not even a blue weapon. It's like the white starting katana you have, but unupgraded and without the status proc. You know, despite the fact that it's a katana and every katana in the game is a status weapon. Like, it's just... Oh, why? Like, you could just aura farm this. Sure. But it's like... How do I explain it? Excuse me, I choked on my own spit. Yeah, on top of this, like, pathetic increase in damage, this perk also has the balls to ask for 10 HP every time you swing it and hit an enemy with it. So, screw you if you were trying to do the whole, like, attack power up at full HP thing. That doesn't work anymore. And that's actually kind of viable on Executor, because you can deflect any hit and you don't take chip damage. Like Guardian. Like Raider. You can tank with no chip damage. You can stay at full HP. You have an ult that heals you to full HP. Like, Executor is really good at staying at full HP. And this completely shits on it. Yeah, I'd say actively detrimental. Now granted, the only real... 10 HP isn't that bad. The only real detriment is if you find like a bunch of weapons with plus attack power at full HP. But still, like... I mean, I say 10 HP isn't much, but at the same time, it's like... Think of how many times you have to hit an enemy that's even like mildly tanked, like a Crucible Knight, to kill them with this weapon. Bro. It's... No, that's trash. Yeah, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be like the final one. Real quick, I'm just gonna screenshot this and post it on Twitter.